Hey guys, so before I start the official video, there's just some things I need to talk about this. Number one, I am very sorry that I did not post the video when it would normally be posted. As some of you might know, it was my birthday on Saturday, so most of this week and a lot of the weekend was taken up by doing birthday related things. So I didn't really have time to film it, edit it and post it. But I did post a blog about rain, which seemed to go over quite well. But I am sorry, so hence why the video is posting now. Number two is I cannot believe how popular Sprinkle of Courage has become. Last time I looked was over 850 likes, which is just awesome. So thank you to everybody that has made that happen. Today, I am going to talk about my birthday adventure. A lot of people have been interested in how it went, seeing as they know where I went and how amazing it was. But I'm going to also talk about how I was really anxious about turning 20 and how anxious I was about actually going to different places on my birthday. A lot of you know that I suffer from severe anxiety. So the idea of going to strange places with big crowds sort of terrified me, but I was going for a good reason. Now on the Friday we went to Bradford to visit my sister Emma and her boyfriend Danny for the day, and I was very sort of anxious because I don't know Bradford well at all. I've only ever been once before, and my mum isn't really that confident driver around Bradford, and I was very, very nervous, not because I was visiting my sister, but I didn't know anything about Bradford. I couldn't reassure myself that everything was going to be fine. So it was really quite scary going out of my comfort zone to go to Bradford, knowing that there's nothing I can sort of cling on to that could be my safe place. But everything turned out fine. It was a lovely day, and I really, really enjoyed it. And once I'd come home and saw that I did it, I went to a strange place, barely knowing anybody at all, and I was fine. It sort of helped lower down my anxiety for my actual birthday. Now, a few of my close friends and family will know that I had a really sort of bad time with the thought of turning 20, because you're out of your teenage years, you're sort of an adult, and I don't feel very adultish. And also, it means you've lived 2 decades, that I've been alive 2 decades, and I don't think I've done enough or accomplished enough in those 2 decades. So it sort of made me very, very depressed and quite sad about it. Because looking at my friends, you know, a lot of them are at uni or at college, knowing what they want to do in their life, taking steps to that. And I'm sort of held back by my mental illness. So I was very sort of depressed and quite sad about the fact that I was turning 20, having no clue what to do and still trying to sort out my mental illness. So I went a bit nuts and sort of banned the word 20. Nobody was allowed to say the word 20. But everything turned out fine. A few of you have expressed interest into the place where I went on my actual birthday. Now, for some of you who don't know, my grandma treated me to go see Disney on Ice 100 Years of Magic in Newcastle. And let me tell you, it was amazing. The best thing I've ever seen. Me and my mum went on an Eddie Brown coach tour. So they pick you up and then they drive you, and you know, it was really incredible experience, but I was petrified. I don't do well in crowds at all. And the idea of going in a coach, a big coach, a bus full of strangers that I've never met before, the only person I know is my mum, then going to the Metro Centre, which is huge, in crowds that I have nobody I know again, then going on to the Newcastle Arena, full of big crowds. So I was really, really petrified at the thought of doing that. The morning of my birthday, you know, I woke up really early because they pick you up early. I remember standing at the pick-up point with my mum, and I was panicking quite badly, thinking, oh my God, I won't be able to do this. How am I going to last a whole day in a crowd full of strangers? How am I going to cope? And my mum is quite anxious as well, and she was panicking thinking we were at the wrong coach pickup point. So 2 anxious people don't go well together. So we were panicking a lot, and then when the minibus came, because the minibus picks us up while the coach does the big bit, and then we sort of meet and transfer, there was 14 on us, the 14 together on the minibus, and I was really nervous in that crowd. And I thought, if I'm that nervous with 14 people, how am I going to cope with a huge coach full? But, you know, it turned out there was nothing to worry about. The 14, you know, the 14 of us got on, got along really, really well. They were lovely, friendly people. We all had a good time. We made quite good friends. They wished me happy birthday. And it was a lovely, lovely trip, and quite a crappy minibus. It was really sort of rickety, throwing you around, run down sort of bus. So we all had a good laugh at that. And then we got to the gas station where they sort of switch off. And I remember looking at the coach thinking, oh my God, there's only 14 of us and there's a whole coach full of them. How am I going to cope? And I remember climbing up the steps on the coach, standing at the front of the coach thinking, oh my God, looking out. And I was thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. And I remember just slightly ready to turn as if I'm going to run. And my mum just sort of looked at me and goes, you can do this. You can do this. And the rest of our minibus people got sort of seated at the front to the middle. And then me and my mum were the only ones that went to the back, because you get allocated seating. And you know the seat at the back of the coach that is the big seat? Well, we were the seat on the driver's seat just in front of that. So all the friends we'd made on the journey up there had been at the front all together, and me and my mum were at the back. Big strangers. And I remember sort of going to the windowsill, slouching down, thinking, oh my God, I can't cope like this. And we thought about this, you know, me and my mum thought that, you know, I'd get nervous. So we took my iPad along to listen to music and watch films. And then we, you know, plugged the headphones in ready, and my iPad decided not to work. So it made me incredibly more nervous, looking around, you know, people looking and all talking, and I was just very, very paranoid that they were talking about me, and I was getting really, really worked up. The family behind us, it was 2 parents and 3 kids, and they were absolutely lovely. You know, they saw it was my birthday, and they wished me happy birthday, and me and my mum and them got along really, really well, and we sort of stuck together for the rest of the day. And the mum of that family was incredibly nervous as well, because she, you know, only been there a handful of times. She was worried about not getting picked up by the coach and all these other worries. So it went along really, really well that we sort of bonded over how scared and anxious we were. And then the rest of the coach, as you sort of kept going back and forth on and off the coach and talking to people, we realised that everybody on that coach was really, really lovely. Everybody was sort of nervous. Everybody was sort of there for a different reason. And we got along really, really well. And it was a really great coach journey. A coach driver was lovely and quite funny. And it really helped calm my nerves down. And the thing is, I'd never, ever been to Newcastle in my life. And I loved the Geordie accent. So that sort of was a plus side as well. So when we went to the Metro Centre, I remember looking around thinking, oh my God, this is huge. And I remember people buzzing past me, full of shopping bags, running around, crowds sort of pushing through. And I remember looking to my mum and going, I cannot do this. And I'm getting really worked up. I could feel like a panic attack coming along. And we didn't want to go far anyway, because we'd never been there. So we didn't want to get so far away from the coach that we'd never find our way back. But you know what? It was fine. And it just proves that sometimes anxiety can make a fool of you. Because there was no reason for me to worry. You know, there was never anything. There was nothing that bad could have happened. And it turned out to be fine. And I enjoyed it. I bought some lovely things. And then we went back, drove to the arena. And as you walk up the steps to go get your ticket scanned, there was just hundreds and hundreds of people in lines pushing through, shouting at the kids. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I cannot do this. And I was really, really scared, because it's a big crowd, a huge, huge crowd, and people were pushing, trying to get in, of excitement, of course. But it's really, really scary that I'm mostly by myself quite a lot during the day, and I sort of hide myself away, and then sort of be pushed in this huge crowd of strangers whirling around you, not knowing anybody. It really does freak you out. But you know, sort of once you get like a few people behind from getting your ticket scanned, excitement sort of took over being anxious. As soon as I went through the doors into the arena and I saw all the merchandise stands there, I just went a bit nuts. You know, I bought a program, I bought cuddly toys, I bought this slushy cup that flashes with the Disney characters on it, says Disney on Ice 2014. I bought this crown that had Mickey Mouse ears in. I went absolutely nuts. But it was just really, you sort of took on everyone else's excitement as well. And then we went to find our seats, and we were thinking we were going to be right at the back. But it turns out, around the ice rink you have that seats on the floor that are sort of like for the people that pay so much money. And then you have the first tier. And we were on the first tier, only a few rows up. So we were really, really close. And then as soon as it started, oh my God, you just get immersed into it. And it was so, so magical. And I got quite a bit emotional as well, because these are the films that make you sort of believe in fairy tales and magic and how you can do anything if you just believe and how strong you are. And that some prince will come along. And it's all those childhood beliefs. Seeing it again, sort of seeing it reenact on ice and listening to the music, and it really does want to make you believe again. And I did get quite emotional, because it was amazing to see it. And it did make me feel incredible being there again, sort of watching it all happen in a new and totally different light after all these years, and experience all the pain I've experienced. I did still want to believe. I did still feel the Disney magic, and it sort of brought me a bit of a new light and hope. I felt like if I still have that magic and belief, then I can't be ready to be done with my life yet. I can't be ready to stop fighting the mental illness. So it gave me a new sort of boost of hope, what I was looking for when I was really struggling with my self-harm addiction, and was looking for options to get me out of this big pit, when all I needed was some Disney magic. And it was breathtakingly amazing, and I am going to go again as soon as I can, and I really recommend that you do it. It was absolutely amazing. And then on the journey back, everybody was sort of buzzing around talking about it, and you know what, it was the best birthday I've ever had. Really, I've ever had. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed exposing my anxiety and getting thrown into all these crowds, because it really made me see that when you're in a bunch of crowds of strangers, they're not really bothered about you. They're bothered about doing their own thing. And I also learned that strangers aren't as bad as I thought they could be. All of them wished me happy birthday. They asked what I was doing for it. They sort of generally interested, and you realise they're not after you. Strangers are nice sometimes. You're not going to be penalised and made fun of. And it also gave me strength, because if I can go on, get into arenas full of crowd and a metro centre coaches of people that I never knew, what's stopping me from going for a walk or going out into town or something like that with my mum, if I can do bigger things that I've already done? So it really did give me this strong, strong hope. And you know what? My fear of turning 20 was ridiculous. I turned 20 a few days ago and I didn't have a nervous breakdown. I'm still alive and I feel no different. The only thing that's different is now I can't say I'm a teenager. But you know what? I realised that when I was looking back at all the things I'd done in my 2 decades alive, I missed one of the most important things. I missed saying that I was strong. I fought mental illness. I survived a suicide attempt. I decided to keep living. And most of all, I created this amazing support group that is helping people, helping me with their mental illness, and seems to be growing bigger every day. And that has got to be one of the best and most amazing achievements that I've ever done. So thank you all again for the amazing, amazing support you give me and the group, and it truly means a lot, and most certainly did give me the best birthday present to look on the group and see how fast it seems to be growing. So thank you very, very much. To see the pictures from my birthday adventure, I'll post the link on the Sprinkle of Courage page. Bye!